welcome back to the second game of a doubleheader exhibition games between Express Hockey and Champions Hockey Red Hounds. I'm going to do something I don't normally try to do, and that's try to commentate for you all. It's a little difficult while I'm working all of the camera equipment and everything to do this, but I'll do my best here. Express came out quick off the face-off with a good chance from Carter Gregg and Jackson Flood. Now we're transitioning back up the ice. Ian Moffat with a bit of a contact there to force a dump in, and Reese sends it in the corner, collect the puck. Carter now looking for a breakout option, makes pass up the middle, just barely fails to connect with Caden Christian. Puck gets down on net though, and the Red Hounds goalie will cover. So I apologize to any Red Hounds watchers. I do not know your roster very well. I'll do my best to read some names as I can go, but no promises here. I'll do what I can. Draw on the Red Hounds end. Won by the Red Hounds. Collected back into the corner by Connolly. Good forecheck by Liam Werner here. Puck comes out. Comes to the blue line, but not quite out. Express manages to bump the puck back into the zone. Red Hounds looking for a breakout again. Good pressure in the corner here by Express. Great job on a half wall by Caden Christian. Pick up that puck. Puck comes out though. 1-on-2 here in the Express zone. Good shot on net on Cam Delaney. Cam coming off of a great tournament at the Top Gun Classic. 3 goals in 3 games, posting 2 shutouts throughout the weekend. Express goaltending was very strong throughout the whole weekend up there, coming out on top after the championship game. Offside call here in the Express zone, so we'll go ahead and have the face-off. Like Blythe and Tal Lockery on the draw. Tal wins it. Good job by Hannon to get it back. Just barely fails to connect with Jasper Nelson here. Jasper goes D to Reed Friars. Come out the wall to Noah. Noah in a little bit of a battle here. 2-on-2. Puck squirts back out to Reed. Reed's taking a look up ice. Gets stuck by Desjardins. A little backhand chance. It doesn't quite find the net. Up to Ashton Hannon. He's got Noah Parker with him, crossing the blue line. Gets tied up in the corner. Tal Lockery in to help. Noah in a good support position here, waiting for the puck to come out. Tal managed to find it in traffic. Can't quite connect with Noah across crease, so we'll get back to the defense. We'll take a look again. Back down the wall to Tal. Oh, just barely gets tipped away from Jasper Nelson. Otherwise, we had a great scoring chance there. Puck cycle back down for Ashton. Ashton over to Noah. Noah picks the puck up in the corner, gets it back to Ashton. Ashton walking through the middle. Oh, great stick by the Red Hounds defenseman to knock that down the ice. It's not quite going to make it for icing. Gets waved off. Reed taking a look up ice. Puts it up, just barely misses Jackson Flood. Ian Moffat picks it up. Gets muscled around on the blue line a little bit. Puck comes back out. Gets picked up by Nelson. Nelson walking up the ice. Passes it over to Moffat. Moffat gets it down into the corner. Takes a look out front. Oh, just barely fails to get the top corner there. And Flood there for good position for a rebound. Jackson picks it up, loses it in the middle of the ice. Too much traffic. These Red Hounds seem to collapse well in front of the net. We noticed from the first game. And forechecks, picks it up. Gets it over to Flood, who puts it back down to the corner for Moffat. Moffat looking for something to do with the puck here. Gets pinned against the boards. Flood into assist. Puck gets rimmed. Picked up by Gregg. Cycles it back to the opposite corner for Moffat. Moffat gets there first. Pinned by Cam Gargano. Flood picks it up. Oh, manages to get it out. We got a 2-on-1 situation here. Got a good back check coming through by Max Clark. Good job here by Kai Moran to pick up the guy that was most dangerous in the play. Takes him down into the boards, no call. It's the type of penalty you wouldn't mind anyway, honestly. Red Hounds get a shot on net. Good save by Cam Delaney. Puck comes out to the blue line. Back in. High slot area. Moffat picks it up. Oh, gets tripped again. And puck gets tossed in on net, easily handled by Cam Delaney. First game of this back-to-back exhibition game series ended in a 3-3 tie. Express was out with an early lead, and Red Hounds managed to climb back, tie it up 2-2, and then Express took the lead 3-2, and the Red Hounds tied it up with very little time left on the clock. I think about 30 seconds to force the game into a tie. Face-off won by the Red Hounds. Quick shot on Cam Delaney. We've got Blythe again here. Wins it back to the D. 2 times in a row here. Good pressure at the point by Emmett Tabor. Brady Neal with the puck, gets stripped. Good job battling back in, picking up a guy. You got a guy low in front of the net, managed to sneak behind everybody, but good job by Cam to make the save. Chipped off the boards by Liam Werner, can't quite pick it up on the other side. Puck gets cycled back down deep by the Red Hounds. Reese Vincent up the wall. Emmett Tabor can't quite get there in time. Brady Neal stick check behind the net. Good pass out front by the Red Hounds. Back to the point, cycled back down on the corner. Neal up the boards. We're just going to get a hard chip from Liam Werner to get that puck out of the zone. Dump back in, and everyone will go for a change. With Brady here, behind the net, under pressure. No help here. Loses the puck. Puck comes out front. Good stick by Reese to try to get it, disrupt the pass across. Got Ashton Hannon now, battling for the puck. Puck comes to the blue line, but not out. Reese Vincent manages to keep it in. Cuts back to the middle. Gets the puck to Noah. Noah can't quite get a handle on it to get a shot on net. Puck goes back to the corner. Cal Lockery with the puck on the boards. Makes a nice move to the inside pass to Noah Parker. Oh, just misses the net. That was a great look. Great play by Tal. Great shot by Noah. Doesn't quite connect. Puck, rebound, save, rebound, save. Great job by the Red Hounds goalie to stay tall on that one. Some dangerous chances here from this line on the Express side. Ashton Hanna working behind the net. Keeps the puck in control. Gets it out to Tal. Tal loses it just barely in the face-off circle. The puck comes back out. And now we're back down the ice. Good pick up by Reed Friars. Loses it at the blue line though. Jasper Nelson there in support, manages to pick it up, driving through the middle of the ice, moves it outside to Ashton. Ashton with a little toe drag action. Shot on net by Jasper, easily handled by the Red Hounds goalie. Great sequence there. Great shift by that line, the Tal Lockery line. And lots of dangerous chances. The Red Hounds goalie managed to stand really tall, make some key saves, and some good defensive support after the saves to make sure that the rebounds for the most part handled. Face off won by the Red Hounds. Managed to come back up through the ice. Ty Moran on the back pressure. Gets the puck down low. Carter Gregg up the wall to Jackson Flood. Jackson Flood under pressure here at the blue line. Puck manages to come out. Some support from Kai. Puck's dumped back in deep. Max Clark up to Ian Moffat. Can't quite handle the puck. Puck goes to the middle of the ice. No shot on net. Good block by Carter Gregg. Jackson Flood holds onto it just a little bit too long. If he got that across, it might have been out and gone easier. Good pressure here by this line though to try to force something at just inside the blue line in the offensive zone. They're going to go for a line change where the puck gets dumped in deep. Puck transitions back out to Will Bowers. Will Bowers dumps it in, and both teams finish a line change. Puck goes over from Reese Vincent to Brady Neal. Back up the wall. Gets picked off from Emmett Tabor. Connolly. Shot. Deflects in off of Brady Neal. That's unfortunate. Make this a 1-0 game for the Red Hounds. Hate to see that. Brady in good defensive position. Just happens to hit him defending. Lands up in the back of the net. Good contested draw, won by Express, gets up to Emmett Tabor. Puck gets stripped. Brings back around the other way. of a pause there. A lot going on here. Jasper Nelson manages to get the puck at the blue line, gets it in deep. Now we've got pressure in from Liam Werner. Caden Christian over on the wall. Doesn't quite get to the puck, but does a good job sealing the wall. Keeps the puck in, gets it back to the D. Will cycle it back into the corner. And Liam Werner going in after it. Liam's got support by Emmett Tabor on the other side of the net. Doesn't quite get to him. Good breakout pass, but it misses target. Gets picked off by Reed Friars, who will drive in over the blue line. Just get the puck in deep, nice and safe. And then we'll go back to work in the corner. Emmett Tabor gets it, hits it off the side of the net. However, that's going to get pinned, and the whistle will blow. Good back and forth action here in the second game. These guys have started to figure each other out a little bit after game one. It's nice having the two games so close together. Gives you an opportunity to understand your opponent a little bit better. Cal Lockery here on the draw. Can't quite see who's taking it on the Red Hounds side. Cal wins it over to Noah. Noah kicks it back to Carter. Carter takes a shot. Fortunately, it bounces off of Cal. Carter puck back to Carter. Will drive in. Looks cross ice for Ashton. Doesn't quite connect. Good job of the Red Hounds to clog up that passing lane and get a stick on it. Ben Reynolds driving in deep. There's a lot of speed. Gets the puck down low. Cycles it to the opposite corner. Can't quite connect with Desjardins on the other side. Cal Lockery comes in. Bangs the puck back behind the net. So 2-on-2 behind the net here. Puck comes out to Noah. Noah's taking a look, gets it over to Ashton, clean out of the zone. Ashton's tied up at center though, can't quite dish the puck back to Noah, even though Noah's calling for it. Puck gets cycled back around the boards. Gets to Noah. Noah manages to get it out across the blue line. That's as far as he can get with it. Ashton Hannon put in pressure on here. Puck comes back over, goes across the blue line into the Red Hound zone. Ashton again with pressure. Great shift by Ashton. Lots of pressure here. Max Clark picks up the puck in the middle of the ice. Gets the puck back in. And the Red Hounds skip it and turn it back around. So we're turning up ice. We got a 2-on-1 situation here. Pass beats Carter Gregg. Nice save by Cam Delaney. Great job by Cam. Stay there and be strong on that puck. Nice pass across to Moffat. Moffat can't quite handle it. Gets picked up by McDougall. McDougall inside. A little bit of pressure from behind. Nice pass out front. Gets a one-timer. Not quite on net though. Max Clark coming around the boards. Gets the puck up to Jackson Flood. Jackson can't quite handle it on the boards. Gets turned over at the neutral zone. A little bit of pressure here. Puck gets dumped back into the corner to try to beat the pressure. Carter Gregg back over to Max Clark. Max gets turned around 2-on-1. Little battle. Now we've got some support in here from Kai Moran. Puck's not moving a whole lot. There we go. Kai picks it up behind the net. Moves it up the wall to Ian. Gets it to his backhand side. Unfortunately, Ian gets turned around. Ian manages to fight over the blue line. Gets the puck out. But it goes back to the Red Hounds with Will Bauer making a pass over and then back into the zone on the opposite side. Puck comes down low. Gets passed back out to Jackson Flood. Flood picks it up on the wall, bangs it off the wall. It gets out. Ian pressuring it in the neutral zone. A little bit of a flyby there. Misses the puck and falls. Puck gets dumped back in deep. Carter Gregg picks it up, puts it up the wall, but nobody there. Back down to Max Clark. Max gets it up the wall to Werner. Werner chips. Gets tied up, but manages to come out. We've got a 3-on-2 big create developing here. Emmett Tabor in, makes a pass across, doesn't quite connect. Gets good stick by the Red Hounds D to break that pass up. Otherwise, that was a very dangerous scoring chance. Puck comes back into the quarter. Get Caden Christian and Emmett Tabor looking after it, but both of them stop up a little too short to give a lane to exit the zone. Reese Vincent applying some pressure in the corner. Puck goes back down below the goal line, behind the net. We've got Caden Christian pinning back behind the net. We've got Brady Neal in there to assist. Puck skirts out front. No shot able to be had there as Reese Vincent manages to get across and tie up a stick. Puck comes back up to Emmett Tabor. He manages to get it out of the zone even though he's taken out. Liam Werner 1-on-1. Comes in, puts the puck between the feet, but doesn't quite get to it on the other side. I'm not sure if that was intended to be a pass to himself or a shot, but either way, good stick by the defenseman to slow that down, make sure that it doesn't turn into a dangerous chance. Nice try by Liam. Puck comes back up to the middle of the ice. Gets picked off by Noah Parker. Noah comes in, attacking the puck, but doesn't quite manage to keep a hold of it. Good job by the Red Hounds D to dump that in deep, but it goes for icing. Doesn't quite gain the red line before it happens. Again, great action back and forth here. Some really good scoring chances. Express not quite getting them on net, but creating the opportunities. And Red Hounds getting a few on net. Cam Delaney with a couple big saves so far in this period. Cal Lockery on the draw, loses it. Goes back to the Red Hounds defenseman. Puck comes up the boards. Tied up in the middle of the ice. Now we got a foot race here. Good tie up by Jasper Nelson there to make sure that the Red Hounds player doesn't get free. Smart play. Noah gives it up to Ashton. Ashton attacking, exiting the zone with some speed. He's got... Oh, gets tripped up. We get a shot, or a pass actually from Noah Parker, and then can't quite get a shot on net by Tal Lockery in front of the net. Smart heads up play by Ashton to move that across instead of just trying to force a shot, knowing that we had a delayed penalty coming. Kind of gets tied up in Tal's feet, however, we don't get the shot off. That'll be a 2-minute tripping penalty. Express will go on the power play here. 2 minutes or less. Player number 77, sorry I don't have a roster. He's in the box for 2. Good draw. Ben Reynolds managed to come out and take that, even though we won it back. Good exit speed by Ben off the face-off. And we're turning it back up ice. Here we go. We've got Reed Friars to the front of the net. Tries to make a pass out front, gets picked off by the Red Hounds defensive stick. I've been saying that a lot so far this period. They've got good stick position. We need to start looking to pass earlier or try to pass around them. Reed down in the corner. With some pressure, managed to do a nice escape move, get back up the ice, go pass it up to Ashton, but Ashton turns his back, doesn't quite see the puck coming, and then disrupts the play that way. Pass over to Noah Parker, but he's covered. Noah loses the puck in the neutral zone. Puck gets dumped back in deep. Good penalty killing so far here by the Red Hounds. Not a whole lot of pressure going on by the Express in the Red Hound zone. In fact, they're having trouble entering. Here comes Ashton with some speed, manages to gain the zone, going in deep. Just tries to put the puck on net, but again, Aiden Frame gets a stick on that puck. We pick it up in front. Shot by Cal, just misses the net high. Jackson Flood knocked down behind the net, no call. Jackson will pick that back up again, however. Ashton comes in with some support. Comes back up to Carter at the point. Carter's gonna walk in, go deep, look to the middle of the ice, loses it. Jackson Flood tries to make a play on the puck, not normally a defenseman, but does an okay job at the blue line there. I've heard he's played some D this year, so obviously that helped him in that situation, and that'll be the end of the period. Quick icing call. When we come back, there's still 25 seconds left on the power play by Express Hockey. Express coaches need to be pretty happy with the pressure that we've generated in some cases throughout this period. However, when we're on the man up, we're not really getting the same level of pressure that we should be with an extra man on the ice. We're kind of playing with the puck a little bit too much in the neutral zone, not quite getting it through and into the zone quickly enough. Player in the box, number 77, Connolly, took a tripping call. 45 seconds left on his penalty when we come back into the period here. Not a whole lot of words as usual from Coach Nelson. He's got the boys ready to go, and they're just going to take the ice and force a quick whistle here from the referee. We got Kai Moran, Jackson Flood, and Ian Moffat starting the period. Kai Moran at center, Ian on right wing, Jackson on left wing. We got Max Clark and Carter Gregg on defense. The way we were finishing up the last period. Kai Moran on the draw here. See what happens. Puck gets won back by the Red Hounds. Gets dumped up, but Max Clark gets a stick on it. Max is going to pick it up around the half wall. Move it over to Carter. Carter's going to look up, get it back across ice. Nobody there, unfortunately. Turns the puck over. Puck gets dumped back down. Not quite all the way down the Express end, but far enough. D-to-D pass. Max Clark looking for Ian Moffat. Gets it to him. Ian gains his own. Gets the puck towards the net. Off the blocker. No one there for the rebound. I think it was just more meant to be a dump in than a shot. But unfortunately, no one there to pick up the puck on the rebound. Red Hounds get dumped in our zone. Carter Gregg looking for the pass out to Ian Moffat. Unfortunately, a little too soft, gets picked off. And that turnover results in a goal by the Red Hounds. Delaney battling hard on that puck there, ends up out of position. And unfortunately, even though they had some good effort by the D to try to tie it up, Cam gets back across, not quite in time to keep the puck out of the net on that one. Puck gets dumped out of the zone after a face-off win by the Red Hounds. Leitner in here, driving in on Brady Neal, gets the pass across. Good stick by Reese Vincent to tie up Garsh on the other side. Puck comes back out. Passed up to Caden Christian. Doesn't quite connect right. Gets turned back around by the defense on the Red Hound side. Moves the puck back up to Leitner. Gets back in deep. We've got Reese Vincent making a play up the wall. Unfortunately not out of the zone. Ian Werner loses the puck on the wall. And he gets turned back into our end. Red Hounds up 2-0 now, really bringing in some extra pressure. It's the most pressure I've seen out of them so far in 2 games. Really starting to work the puck in deep and attack the puck with 2 guys. Puck comes up the wall to Emmett Tabor. Emmett gets it up to Liam. Liam gets a stick on it on the other side of the red line, so he stops the icing, and we'll get a full line change. All 5 players changing for Express. Deep stretch pass, gets picked off. Couldn't quite connect with Reynolds. Jasper Nelson in good defensive position to make sure that didn't happen. Puck gets turned back up the ice by Reed and over to Ashton. Ashton back to, couldn't quite see him, I think Tal Lockery, yep. And then Tal gets it to Noah. Noah back into the corner. We've got Ashton down to Noah. Good cycle into the corner. We've got Reed joining in. Now he takes us back his defensive position on the blue line. Ashton moves the puck up to the opposite side, drops it for Tal. Tal loses it in the corner. Noah and Ashton pressure, manage to turn the puck back over at the hash marks. Ashton with Tal in front. Ashton gets it out, but Tal doesn't quite get a shot. Reed picks up the loose puck, puts it out front for Ashton. Ashton gets a stick on it, doesn't quite go on net. Otherwise, that would have been a good chance. Good battle by Parker in the corner, but the puck comes out. Turned back over by Tal. Tal will get it up the wall, move it over to Noah Parker. Noah will dump it in, and we'll go for another line change. Puck gets dumped up ice to Jasper Nelson. Jasper's going to pick it up in our end. He'll turn back up ice behind the net. Stops up, takes a look, moves it over to Reed. Reed will chip it up the boards. Nobody there. Wingers are turning our backs a little bit too much to the puck on a few situations here. Nice pass by Flood over to Ian. Doesn't quite get there. Gets picked off in the center ice area. Ian takes down Aiden Frame. No call. Puck goes to Reed. Reed will get it to Ian. Ian will put it through. Try to get it to Reed. Doesn't quite connect. Ends up on net. Goalie will freeze it. And then we get a punch from Aiden Frame onto Ian Moffat because of that trip over in the neutral zone. No call from the referee. Referees seem to be putting their whistles away here on this one. A lot more penalty calls than the last one. Ty Moran wins the puck back, goes to Max Clark. Max gets it through, but not on net. Puck comes over to Jackson Flood. Jackson Flood working off the wall, moves the puck to the center of the ice. Nobody there. Turned over at the wing on the Red Hound side. Tries to make a pass up. Doesn't quite connect. Max Clark down in the end. Carter Gregg battling. Cam Delaney out, battling for a puck again. Sprawling around. Needs some defensive help. Good job there by Carter Gregg to stop a wraparound. And another shot block. Puck comes out. Just thrown up ice by Jackson Flood. Ian Moffat pressuring at center on Matthew Richardson. Managed to turn the puck over to Jackson Flood. Jackson Flood loses it on the wall. Ty Moran puts the puck over to the opposite side of the ice. Ian pressuring Aiden Frame again. Frame makes a pass up to Gargano. Gargano gains his own. Attacks over, puts the puck over to Will Bowers rather. Who dumps it around the boards. Puck comes out, goes to Caden Christian. Great pass up to Emmett Tabor. We got a one-on-one here. Good job by Aiden Frame to disrupt that. Take the puck and transition it back up ice quick. Good job by Caden Christian to tie up his man, make sure that the puck can't get into the zone. Emmett Tabor attacking underneath. He's got support out front, and he's got Carter Gregg and Brady Neal on the blue line. Managed to get through the center of the ice. Shot on net by Emmett Tabor. Easily handled by the stick of the goalie on the Red Hound side. Apologize again. Not sure who it is, but having a great game so far. Made some really good saves. Reese Vincent cuts back in our zone. Makes a pass up to Liam Werner. Liam gets it over to Caden Christian. Caden drives wide. Looks to go underneath. Manages to get by the defender. Pass out front. Gets disrupted by the goalie's stick. Great opportunity over to Reese Vincent. Can't quite handle it. Red Hounds breaking out of their zone. Good pressure by Tal Lockery. Turns it over to Liam Werner, who dumps it back in. Tal managed to get it in the corner. Noah Parker wants the puck out front. Tal doesn't see him, unfortunately. He's wide open. Reese on the blue line. Tries to put the puck into the zone. Gets tied up. We've got a battle. Puck comes back out to Tal. Tal looks to the middle. Tries to walk through. Manages to get the puck to Noah Parker. Noah Parker looking around. Gets the puck back to Brady Neal. D-to-D pass over to Reese. Doesn't quite connect. Ashton Hannon cycles it with Reese on the low wall. Noah Parker gets in there. Can't quite disrupt it again. We're just going to get an icing down on net. So no icing call, allowing the Red Hounds to make a change. Brady Neal behind the net, cycles it back, reverses to Reese Vincent, gets the puck up to Noah Parker, but not on target. Just a little behind him, off the wall. Noah still manages to handle it. Drives out with a lot of pressure on him at that particular moment. Managed to get the puck out of the zone. Brady Neal loses his stick. Pass out front. Reese Vincent gets the puck off his skate. Shot goes back on net. Cam Delaney will handle it easily into his glove, and we'll get a face-off in the express zone. Face-off in our end. Tal Lockery again. Tal wins the draw back, gets picked up by Jasper Nelson, kind of loses on the side of the net, but manages to recover, gets the puck over to Reed. Reed moves the puck up to Noah. Noah will gain the zone. Noah's looking to the middle, nobody there that he can get the puck to, so he cuts back over. Makes a nice pass over to Ashton. Ashton gets it on his backhand, however. Can't quite handle the puck for a shot, but he managed to drive back underneath again. Moves the puck cross ice right to Jasper Nelson. Just bobbles off the stick. You can tell he's not happy about it. That was a great pass, great shot opportunity. Jasper doesn't miss too many of those. Just happened to come in a little hot, bounce off the stick a little funny, and comes back out to Jasper, who's going to get a shot on net. Nice save by the Red Hounds goalie. Again, Express getting all kinds of chances here. Red Hounds goalie making quite a few saves. Good opportunities that are being taken away by great goaltending on this side. Express boys are trying to fire their team up, banging their sticks on the wall. Draws one by Kai Moran, comes back out, but doesn't quite make it to the deep. Gets picked off by the winger on the Red Hound side. I think that's Will Bowers. Bowers going in against Kai Moran. Kai gets the better of him, moves it up the wall to Jackson Flood. Jackson looks to the middle, tries to force a pass to Ian Moffat instead of finding Jasper Nelson. Unfortunately made the hard play instead of the easy one. Doesn't quite work out. Although if he did manage to get that puck to Ian, it would have been a great opportunity. Ian picks off a pass going to the D, moves it over to Jasper, who's going to drive in deep. Ian's going to cover for him on the blue line. He's got Jackson Flood joining him. Puck comes out. Being careful here. I was very close to too many men. The referees are going to wave off the icing, saying that it was tipped. Although if that was the case, it probably would have been a penalty. Reverse here. Behind the net by Caden Christian. Puck comes up to Ian Moffat, getting the battle on the wall. Pass out to the middle, goes to Jackson Flood, who loses it in the low slot. Shot on net, saved by Cam Delaney. Puck comes back out front again. Jackson Flood picks it up. Not looking this time, he's just going to put it in deep and go to the bench. Two wingers will change. Caden Christian picks the puck up behind the net. It's left there by the Red Hounds goalie, hoping for his defense, but Caden Christian beats the play out, and then the puck is fired down the ice for icing. 6:33 left to play in the second period here. We're going to have a face-off in the Red Hounds end. On the draw, we're going to have Caden Christian with Liam Werner. and Emmett Tabor, and on the back end we've got Carter Gregg and Max Clark. Shot save. That comes in by the Red Hounds, tries to make a play out front. Good job there, but plays disrupted by a defenseman. Gets the puck back up the ice to Emmett Tabor. Emmett's going to look to gain the zone. Drives in, gets taken down at the wall, and that's going to be a power play for Express. It's the second penalty of the game by the Red Hounds. And I'm going to apologize. I've been calling Carter Hayes Carter Gregg this whole game. Sorry. A little bit of a mental brain fart there. Carter Gregg's been playing hockey with my middle child for a little while. So apologies, Carter. I won't get your name wrong again. There's Carter Hayes and Max Clark on the blue line. And we've got 2 minutes for body contact. Caden Christian on the draw. Puck's won by the Red Hounds. Gets picked up in the defensive zone by Aiden Frank. Toss up the wall, goes to Max Clark. Doesn't quite get out. Max manages to keep it in. Puck cycle back up the wall, goes back to Max Clark. Max looking to the middle, makes a nice move off the wall. Drives in, tries to get a shot on net. Doesn't quite work. It's disrupted by some sticks. And then easily tossed out of the zone because we had 4 guys deep. No one on the blue line. Carter Hayes picks up the puck behind the net. Carter makes a move, gets the puck over to Max. Max looks to the middle, gets the puck to Caden Christian. Can't quite handle the pass, gets turned over. Andrea Christian says 2 hands on your stick and tells Caden to pick it up next time. It goes back to Aiden Frame. Good job by Tal Lockery to disrupt that in all alone. Tal, shot, great save by the Red Hounds goalie. He's not known to miss those shots very often. Comes in. Picked up by Ashton. Ashton tries to fake a wraparound and come back, but the goalie doesn't fall for it. He stays on that side. Puck comes out to Reese Vincent. Reese gets the puck on net. Doesn't quite make it through. Hits a body and goes wide. Brady Neal gets the puck back into the zone just wide of the net. Ashton Hanna coming out. Ashton pass to Reese. Reese gets a shot. Doesn't quite make it through. Back out to the blue lines. Brady Neal's a shot. Gets hit by a body in front. Loose puck. Can't quite be recovered by Ashton Hannon. Body's flying everywhere. Noah Parker picks it up. Gets it over to Tal. Tal takes a shot just wide of the net. Noah picks it up in the corner. In a little bit of a battle. Good job by the Red Hounds on a tired forward line that has fought for puck recoveries quite a few times in that period. Gets picked up by Reese Vincent. Reese gets it back up to Noah. Noah's taking a look. Doesn't see a lane. Decides to drive it. And loses it just inside the blue line, but Ashton Hannon picks it up. Cal Lockery with him. Cal gets it back to the point again. Reese Vincent, little pass in for Noah Parker, doesn't quite connect. Noah Parker into the corner, cycles it back down low for Ashton. Ashton out front for Cal, doesn't connect with him again. Reese managed to pick it up at the blue line. He was covering the player coming out of the box. Gets turned around. Will Bowers now coming into the zone. Nice shot. Nice save by Cam Delaney. A little bit of a nifty backhand there by Bowers. Doesn't quite make it in. Puck comes up the wall to Ian Moffat. Ian's going to give that back to Kai Moran. Kai loses it in center ice, but manages to recover it and put it back in deep. Ian on the forecheck. He's coming in. Puck goes D to D. Kai in there. Can't quite stop the puck. And then we get a little bit of a back check situation here. Cam Delaney handles that shot, falls backwards, but no harm, no foul. Comes back up to Ian Moffat. He taps it over to Nelson, who's coming in with speed. He sees Jackson Flood. Great goal. Nice play from Moffat to Nelson to Flood for the goal. And that will make it a 2-1 hockey game. Score by Express, number 5, Jackson Flood, from a pass from Jasper Nelson after receiving a pass from Ian Moffat. So that's a good play to start the scoring on the Express side here. Face-off is scrummed, gets back, touched back into the defensive zone by Reed Friars. Reed Friars cycles the puck back behind the net. Shot out front. Cam Delaney managed to make the save through traffic. That was a very dangerous shot. Cam just in good position, managed to make the save. Pass from Flood to Moffat. Moffat drives in with Moffat on Richardson. Tries to make the pass out front. Hits Richardson's skate. Richardson will move that back up the ice to Garsh. Garsh will move that over to Smith. Redhounds attacking now. Reed Friars manages to tie up Garsh. Little battle on the boards. Couple bodies falling here. Who's going to come up? Oh, no, Jasper Nelson comes up the puck, carries it behind the net, starts looking, reverses it to Reed. Reed's going to look. Ian looking to blow the zone, but getting covered by Aiden Frame. Nelson will reverse again to Friars. Friars going to look up ice. He's just going to take his lane, take his ice, and he gets turned back around. Another battle on the boards here. Ty Moran comes in. I think that's Liam Werner helping out. They're part of a line change. Kai gets it out to Ian. Ian just tips it into the zone so they can go for a line change. Great play on a tired line, looking to get off the ice. Just gets it deep so that they can get fresh bodies on the ice. And now we've got Christian and Emmett Tabor joining their line mate Liam Werner, who was able to get on just before that play happened and get the puck down the end. We got a battle down in the low corner in the Redhound zone. Comes out though, comes to Ben Reynolds, who is looking up ice with a little bit of speed. Goes one-on-one on Max Clark, manages to get the puck behind him, but doesn't quite manage to collect it in a dangerous area. Gets in the corner, makes a pass out front, almost ends up in the net, and then a weird play from behind. Ends up out front. Cam Delaney diving across to try to make a save, but the Redhounds managed to put it through. Very similar to game one as far as the scoring goes, however in reverse, the Redhounds being on top up front. Let's hope that Express can battle back and tie it up the same way that the Redhounds did the last game. Puck is won by the Redhounds, gets dumped in deep. We've got Ben Reynolds in a battle. Can't see who the Express player is that's with him. Both players go down. Puck gets passed out front, gets picked up by Carter Hayes. Carter will move that puck up the ice. Gets passed across by Emmett Tabor to Liam Werner. Liam Werner gains the zone, gets turned over at the blue line, and then the puck will roll into the corner and get picked up by McDougall behind the net. McDougall will look up the ice. Makes a pass, misses everybody. That's going to go for icing, and that'll bring us back down into the Redhound zone. Both benches opt for a line change on the icing. Express now with the Tal Lockery line of Tal Lockery, Ashton Hannon, and Noah Parker. We've got Brady Neal and Reese Vincent on the blue line. Ashton pressuring off the face-off, but couldn't quite win it. Good job by Brady Neal to turn the puck over at the blue line, get it back in deep. Tal Lockery managed to pick it back up at the blue line, although it's changing possession quite a bit here. Redhounds managed to get it out. Goes to Cam Gargano, but he can't quite make a play with it the way that he wants to. Tal Lockery picks it up in the neutral zone, gains the zone with a lot of pressure, dumps it back for Ashton Hannon. Ashton Hannon pass across for Noah Parker, doesn't quite connect, and that will end the period. Both periods end with Express with a little bit of pressure in the Redhound zone, but not quite able to make anything come out of it. A 3-1 hockey game right now going into the third period. 15 minutes left to go. Express goal scorer Jackson Flood with assists from Jasper Nelson and Ian Moffat makes a nice play to get the first goal of the game. And right now, if I'm Coach Nelson, I'm just trying to remind them of the game they played at the start of their back-to-back doubleheader, where we controlled the play on their end. Our forecheck was really effective, and we weren't trying to make unnecessary, difficult plays. Just keep it simple, get the puck down the ice, get the puck on net, and let's crash for some rebounds, boys. We're not getting a whole lot of rebound opportunities. It'd be nice to see us get some of those. That's what's been happening on the other end. On the flip side of that is a lot of scrambled pucks, 2 at least, that ended up in the back of our net. forcing Cam Delaney to try to make some athletic saves and just basically winning battles in the low slot in front of the Express net. So let's turn that around. Let's get some of those on the other opposite end. Tie this thing up in relatively quick order. Lots of time left to play with 15-minute periods here. Lockery on the draw to open the period. Wins the puck back. Strummed up a little bit. Manages to get it over to Ashton Hannon. Ashton will gain the zone. Great job by the Express to pick up that face-off win. That's a very important draw. Tries to make a play back to Reese Vincent. Doesn't quite get there, but Reese manages to stop up the player trying to exit the zone. Noah comes in for a battle. Again, it gets by Cal and Reese. We've got a 2-on-1 on Brady Neal. Will Bowers makes a pass across. Can't quite connect with Cam Gargano. Puck comes off the stick. Tries to center it. Brady Neal there to take that away. Moves the puck back behind the net. Cal Lockery, pass over to Ashton. Ashton's going to hit Noah with a hard pass coming out of the zone. We got a 1-on-3 here with Noah. Noah now passes over to Cal Lockery. Cal's going to take that in while Noah goes for a change. Puck comes back up, but not out. Oh, just quite misses it by Reed Friars. Puck manages to squirt out to Leitner, who will dump that puck into the zone while his line goes for a change. His team goes for a change as well. Emmett Tabor on the wall, takes a look to the middle, manages to find Jasper Nelson, who's been jumping into the play really well today. Caden Christian playing at the blue line, makes a pass to Reed Friars. Reed will walk in, find a shot. Good tie-up down low there with sticks on Emmett Tabor, because if he had got a piece of that, that would have been a very dangerous shot pass by Reed Friars. What he's looking for, Grasper toe drag, shot, not on net. Just barely misses it. We've had a lot of those. Lots of bodies clogging up the front of the net. Pass out front. Doesn't quite connect with Liam Werner, but it's tossed to the blue line. Jasper Nelson gets a piece of it, fires it in off the stick. That's going to go back behind the net. We've got Caden Christian working up the wall, taking a look to the middle. Attacks off the wall, pass across. Great save. Emmett Tabor just a little slow on that cross-crease pass, where that goalie had no chance. Managed to get across with a little bit of a hesitation from Emmett, and that keeps the puck out of the net. Still a great save, great shot attempt, great pass by Caden Christian. Really looking to find a way to use his teammates in this game, and that's great to see. Puck comes up the wall, enters the Express zone. Jasper Nelson in a race behind the net, doesn't manage to pick it up, but good job by Kai Moran and good support position to get that over to Ian Moffat. Ian finds Flood, but just barely misses his stick. A little bit of pressure by Ian, turns the puck over, but it manages to score it out to Reynolds in the middle of the ice. Reynolds drives in, managed to score 1-on-2. To make this a 4-1 hockey game. Ben Reynolds with the goal. Managed to drive in, split the D, and cut that one behind Cam Delaney. Kai Moran lines out here. Kai Moran, Ian Moffat, Jackson Flood. Kai on the draw. The draw is won back by the Red Hounds. Too many players on the Express side moving up to forecheck that puck in the neutral zone, but it managed to come back to Carter Hayes. Carter gets it up the wall to Moffat. Moffat takes a look to center, gets it to Moran. Moran kind of overskates it a little bit, but it's turned back around into the zone. Ben Reynolds shot off a stick out of the zone. There'll be a draw on the Express end. Same line here, Kai Moran with Moffat and Flood. Defense, we've got Max Clark and Carter Hayes. Puck is won to Carter Hayes. However, Will Bowers manages to get in and take it with a little bit of pressure. Little battle here, 1-on-1. Puck comes up the wall to Moffat. Doesn't quite stay on his stick. Goes to McDougall and makes a move around him at the blue line. Comes in, shot on net. Just wide. Max Clark coming up the ice, loses the puck at the blue line, but it's picked up by Kai Moran. Kai's going to come in. Jackson Flood goes for a change. Kai and Ian 2-on-4 right now. Ian's to the front of the net. Kai cycles back, looks for the D, hits Carter Hayes. Carter finds it into the zone. Moffat into the corner to try to pick up the loose puck. Comes back up the wall, gets chipped by Max Clark. We got a 2-on-2 coming in. Pass over to Bowers, gives it back to Gargano. Gargano gets a shot. Nice save. Puck comes back up out of the zone to the blue line, not out. Kai Moran manages to win a little bit of a battle to put it back up, while Liam Werner's taken down on the wall pretty hard, no call. Been seeing a lot of those let go today. That's not unusual at this level, at this age of hockey, for a little bit of bumping to be allowed. Puck gets back stuck up the boards. Ashton Hannon picks it up, goes back into the zone. Sometimes your best area to find is below you when trying to get out. Manages to get the puck up to Werner. Werner gives the puck to Cal Lockery. Cal comes in, loses the puck off the stick, manages to cycle it back in. Reese Vincent picks it up off the wall, gets it to Ashton Hannon. Hannon gets it out front, shot, rebound. It's loose out front, can't quite get it in. A couple people trying to tap it, but goalie's sprawling. We just can't get it in there. Brady with a slap shot. Nice glove save by the Red Hounds goalie to keep this a 4-1 hockey game. Apologies, seems a feed cut out there for a moment. I was kicked off the Wi-Fi, but probably on it for too long, but that's okay. We're back in business here. Cal Lockery wins the puck back to Reed Friars. Reed tries to tip it back into the zone, can't quite do it. Now we've got a 3-on-1 coming the other way. We've got Garsh going to the net. Puck tries to go through. Great job by Nelson to keep that from getting across, but when it comes back, we get a shot on net, handled by Cam Delaney. Puck comes up the wall to Ashton Hannon. Ashton's going to move that over to Tal. Tal gets the puck knocked off the stick. Ashton Hannon coming in. Ashton takes a look out front, makes a pass, goes to Noah Parker. Great goal. Great opportunity off of a nice feed. What a Catholic goal by Noah Parker. Try to make it a 4-2 hockey game. Great job by Ashton Hannon to drive underneath there, make that play, and puck gets over to Noah on the back door. Again, no hesitation on that. Ends up behind the net. It's a 2-goal game. We still have 10 minutes left to play. There's still a lot of hockey to play here. Normally these guys play 12-minute periods, so they basically have a full period of hockey left to get 2 goals, tie this thing up. But it starts with winning some draws, and fortunately, we haven't been doing that very well. Great shot block there by Reed Friars on Ben Reynolds. Keep this a 4-2 hockey game. Puck comes up to Caden Christian. Caden's going to come in with speed. He's got Liam Werner coming with him. He cuts back, makes a move on the wall, tries to get underneath. It doesn't come in. Loses the puck out the half wall. Puck comes out to Ben Reynolds. Ben has been flying today. He's looking really fast. Gets the puck in deep. Tries to put it on net. Doesn't quite make it there. But either way, manages to get it deep so that his team can finish their change and he can get some support into the zone. Caden Christian battling against Ben Reynolds now on the wall. 2 bodies clashing together. Red Hounds come up with it. Nice save by Delaney, who's down early, but managed to kick the leg out and stop that one. Puck goes from Werner over to Christian. We've got Emmett Tabor coming into the zone. Caden loses the puck, but Tabor manages to support it. Comes up with it. Christian puts it back out front. Nobody there. Jackson slide in with the pressure. Max Clark manages to kick it back into the zone. On the blue line, it does come out, but Express will get back on side and start pressuring again. They needed to finish a change anyway, so this will allow Kai Moran and Ian Moffat to get on the ice with their line mate Jackson Flood. Puck gets passed down on the ice, goes to Carter Hayes. Back up to Kai. Kai's coming up ice, takes a look, gets that in deep. Good play, gets it by 2 guys. Ian pressuring into the corner now. Kai goes behind the net. Puck comes back up ice, goes to Gargano. Gargano to Bowers. That's offside, not called. Nice shot, blocked by Carter Hayes. Cam Delaney scrambling in net, gets a quick whistle, saves us a potential 5th goal against. Draws one back by Express, but picked up by Will Bowers, who beats his defenseman back to the puck. Comes up the wall to Jackson Flood, can't quite get a handle on it. Cycle back down low. Kai Moran in there battling against Gargano. Max Clark comes in, throws a body check, no call on that. Again, that's been let go quite a bit today. I'm not too surprised that the referees are allowing them to make a little bit of contact here and there. We're now in the U13 hockey age. And a lot of that stuff, as long as it's not dangerous or dirty, gets let go if it's just two guys kind of banging against each other. Puck gets cycled up to Waldy, and Moffat doesn't get there. Gargano picks it off. Gets passed up to the point. Moffat comes up to get in the shooting lane. Gets passed down the wall to Cam again. Cam gets a shot on net. Cam Delaney handles it well. Moffat trying to take the passing lane away. Manages to get all around on the backside, but not in a dangerous place. Pass down to Gargano again. Moffat strips it. Wins the battle. We get support coming in from Kai. Kai doesn't quite handle it. Puck gets passed out front to Smith. Smith shot on net, handled by Cam Delaney, who will freeze that, get us a whistle and a line change. Much needed line change on that one. Guys are making them retire, get caught in their own end. All right, face off in the express zone. Puck's won by Express. Brady Neal gets down to it, chips it up the wall for Noah Parker. Doesn't quite get there, gets stopped by the defenseman, Matthew Richardson. Puck comes out to the blue line. Pass back in. Brady Neal back on the puck, gets it up the wall, looking for Noah Parker. Doesn't quite connect. Back out to the zone. Matthew Richardson tries to attempt a shot on net. Kind of fans on it a little bit, doesn't quite get all of it. And that's turnover in the middle of the ice. Noah Parker just gets it out of the zone. Goes in frame. Special from Ashton Hannon. He wasn't quite ready for Frame to make a mistake like that, or he would have been gone on a breakaway. Frame recovers quickly, and Ashton does get the puck into the offensive zone. Pass over to Reese Vincent. Shot on net. Hits the glove. It's loose in the crease, but nobody can get there. We need to get bodies to the net, boys. Ashton drives over top, gets tripped in the middle of the ice. It's going to be a penalty call on Weston Garsh. Garsh with no stick manages the pressure, forces the puck to be dumped in, and that will be collected by the Red Hounds. That's going to be a 2-minute minor to Weston Garsh for tripping, with Ashton Hannon coming over the boards. Coach Bowers does not like that call, but it's called nonetheless. Gives Express an opportunity here with 6 minutes and 18 seconds left. 2-minute power play, trying to bring us within 1 on the game. Face off Tal Lockery, wins it back, but nobody there to collect it. Ben Reynolds grabs it, just like the last power play draw, and puts it up the ice. Cam Delaney plays the puck around the wall to Noah Parker. Great job, Cam. Like to see the goalies moving the puck at this age. That's fantastic. Good play. And the puck comes over to Jasper Nelson, who sees Ashton Hannon in the middle of the ice. Ashton's going to try to split the D. Doesn't quite work. He's got Noah Parker there. Noah's going into the corner. Tal Lockery on the wall to try to seal it. 2-on-1 battle on the boards. Tal comes out with it, manages to get a pass across to Ashton. Ashton tries the middle of the ice, gets it over to Tal. Tal puts it upstairs for the 4-3 goal. Third goal by Express. It's a great play. We've got a lot of bodies included in that one. Tal managing to put it in after passed over by, I believe it was Jasper Nelson. Jasper to Ashton, Ashton to Tal. Ashton loses it in the middle of the ice to Tal. Nonetheless, ends up in the back of the net. That's a nice play. And we are now in a 4-3 hockey game with still 5 minutes and 41 seconds to play. We have to try to tie this one up. Scrum, draw in the middle. We've got Caden Christian coming up with it. Oh, just barely gets stopped at the blue line. Looked like he was going to be in good. That's called offside. Shouldn't have been. That was brought in by the Red Hounds, and it's unfortunate. That's what happens sometimes. Talking to Bashy's referees, they've been doing a good job. Sometimes they miss some things. There's only 2 guys on the ice here. No dedicated linesmen. They're not always in the correct position because they have to be all over the place. So kudos to them for making the calls they can. Jasper Nelson loses the puck at the blue line, manages to get it out, but Reed Fryer's there to back him up. Bowers battling against Nelson, gets the puck over to Smith. Smith comes in, shot on net. Easy blocker save by Delaney. Quick rebound, however. Delaney was a little bit surprised by that one, not quite having the post seal. They've been trying that play a few times on us today, where they just hit that guy, hit that second shot, hoping to find a hole beside the goalie's knee, and they haven't gone in yet, but it looks dangerous. It's going to happen one of these times if we keep it up. Reed Fryers is tied up, trying to get into the zone. Puck comes up the wall. Caden Christian with some pressure. Puck gets turned over, and now we've got Bowers coming through the middle. Bowers gains the blue line, in one-on-one on Carter Hayes. Carter Hayes makes the play. Great job chipping it up the wall. Gets it over to Christian. Carter Hayes coming in. Will Bowers 1-on-0. Nice save by Cam Delaney. Great job to stop that. Puck comes out to McDougall. McDougall will shoot. Cam Delaney, easy blocker save. Pass out front. Comes to Max Clark. Max is going to chip that up to Ian Moffat. Goes behind him, but he's got time. He's got space. He's got a little bit of speed coming into the zone. Stopped by Garsh, who had just come out of the penalty box. Managed to get into the zone faster. Had a little bit of space. Ian comes into a loose puck. Gets passed out, or tries to get passed out, but it hits a body. Now we're in a foot race. Carter Hayes coming in. Ty Moran tries to put up the Ian, but again, not on the stick side. Ian turns it over to Jackson Flood. Ian gets that there. Jackson coming in one-on-one. Gets a shot on net. Goalie makes the save. Good job by this line to eat some minutes and try to drive some pucks to the net. Great shot by Jackson Flood, who scored our first goal on this game. First of 3. Moran on the draw. Face-off is 1 over to Ian Moffat. Ian comes in, gets a shot, gets blocked, goes over to Moran. Again off the leg, scramble in front. Moran gets it, puts it back, tries to put it back through traffic. Too many bodies. There we go. Good play. Gets it back to the defenseman, Reese Vincent. Puts it on net, but wide. Flood gets there to the corner. Looking to cycle that back down to Moffat. Loses the battle, but he gets it back. Again, trying to push that puck into the corner. Let's get that over there. Moffat comes out. Doesn't quite come up with the puck. Gets his stick lifted at the last second. And then the Red Hounds are just going to dump that in. Blythe looking for a line change. Brady Neal loses the puck in front of them and behind the net. Reese Vincent battling in the corner. Manages to pick it off. Ian Moffat takes his guy down on the half wall. The puck goes back into the zone. Here comes Jackson Flood. And that's going to be a penalty to Ian Moffat. Call it a hook. I don't know about that. They've been letting a lot of that stuff go. I think this is kind of a make-up call. Try to balance off penalties a little bit. I think that one might have been called by JB on the Red Hounds bench more than anyone. But that happens sometimes, and the referees have certainly penalized the Red Hounds more than Express here. Just unfortunate with 2:53 left in the game, down by a goal, to be short-handed here. We're going to have to kill this one off and get to work. Maybe try to score a short-handed goal. Cal Lockery in there. Shot on net to Cam. Cam handles it easily. Right into the bread basket. Nice little soft one. And he puts it away. Cal Lockery on the draw. Tied up. Puck gets one back to the defense on the Red Hound side. Puck goes back down into the corner. Back below the net to Garsh. Reed Friars looking to make a play behind the net. Doesn't quite work. Good penalty killing positioning here. Good stick movement. Towels pressuring the blue line. Gets dumped in. Nelson will put it down the ice. And in a foot race here now with Cal Lockery in the defense. Red Hounds goalie puts it up the wall. Nobody there from the Red Hounds. This could actually turn into an opportunity by Express. No call on the body contact there. Again, they've been letting a lot of that stuff go on both sides. That's just too bad where we're in the box, and that could have been something to even it up for our 4-on-4 here. Nice save by Cam Delaney. Kicks it up the wall. Ashton Hannon puts it by his guy in a foot race. Got 2 with him. 2-on-1. Ashton Hannon going in. Ends up on a breakaway. Can he put it away? No. Great save. Ashton picks it up behind the net. Had Tal on the 2-on-1. Tal kind of skated by the net a little bit. Gets the puck out. Again, scrambled puck. Lots of scrambled pucks in the Red Hound zone. Puck comes up the ice to Will Bowers. Will looking for Gargano in the middle. Puck gets kicked over to Noah Parker. Noah's going to just go ahead and put that down the ice, out of the zone, allow Cal Lockery to change. We're going to get 2 fresh penalty killers on the ice. We've got Caden Christian and Noah Parker. We had a shot here by McDougall, easily steered away by Cam Delaney. Smith driving up the boards. Can't quite connect on the cycle back behind the net. Ends up coming over to the defense on the blue line and then dump back into the corner. Jasper Nelson and Reed Friars both battling for the same puck. Dangerous decision when you're down by a guy, but Reed almost gets that out to Caden. Just barely gets stopped at the last second. Ian Moffat comes out of the box. He's going to go over to the bench for a change. Caden Christian gets the puck, looking for a pass up, gets it to Reed Friars. Reed 1-on-3, gets taken down, no call. Reed's going to go in, puck gets cycled behind the net. Express not pulling the goalie here. We got Ben Reynolds behind everybody. Good job by Carter Hayes to hold that in. Ashton Hannon gets it to Cal Lockery. Can't quite get it out of the zone. Blythe's going to come in. Pass into the middle for Ben Reynolds. Gets tied up by Max Clark. Max moves it up to Noah Parker. Noah's going to gain the middle of the ice. Passes it over to Ashton Hannon. We got 13 seconds left on the clock. Not a whole lot of time, but maybe enough time to get a shot here if we can handle it. 6-on-5 here. 1 second to spare. They're just going to pin the puck and take the victory. Two very close games between Express and the Red Hounds. Red Hounds managed to come out on top on this one in a 4-3 win. Last game, first game was a 3-3 tie. So, I mean, these are some pretty back and forth games. Some pretty good opportunities on both sides. Again, Express in this game had lots of chances. They just couldn't quite bury. Red Hounds goalie stood on their head in some situations. Looked like Zinc, I think is what the name says on the back of the jersey. Great game. Manages to steal one for the Red Hounds. A couple scramble plays in front of the Express end. Resulted in some goals against that we really needed back, and a couple giveaways in the neutral zone. And that's the story of the game for Express. So hopefully we can clean that up before we go to the Oyster Cup and PEI next weekend. May see these guys there. I'm not sure what the schedule entails, but we are ready to get going, back to work, go back and play some elite hockey in four-game round robin on the Prince Edward Island, and see how we do. Looking to repeat as champions after winning the Top Gun Classic, and we will see you next time. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm hoping that my commentary was sufficient for all you folk, and we will see you on the island. Have a great day.